Okay, hello. Sports in school, playing, youth athletes. This is a really big deal in the US. And I want to talk about this a little bit because I can't imagine going to school and not having school sponsored teams. This is weird for me. Also, today my eyes are really blue. I already spent a few minutes admiring myself. Yeah. Okay. Back on. Is it because of the blue background? I have natural light. I don't know. Or is it because I slept well? I'm not sure. Okay. Focus, Eric. Okay. School sports. So, oh man, um, I really don't think German schools have this. Like everything from grade school to high school. Like I grew up having a school sports team, no matter which school I went to. Now, it varies a little bit. I'm going to try to tell you like some of my experience, and you guys can fill me in the comments and tell me about the German schools. I know that you have some like different clubs and there's different organizations and whatnot, but I really don't think you guys have anything like what we have in the US where it's school sponsored. The schools have mascots. Like my high school, we were the Knights. Our school colors were green and white. And yeah, I went to a bit of a small school, so we didn't have a whole lot of options. We didn't have football. We had soccer. Soccer was quite popular, although I didn't play. Um, and it was primarily only with the guys. Oh, goddamn sun messing up my lighting. Hold on. Okay, video resumed. Um, yeah. So my high school was rather small, but like they have soccer, football, volleyball, or typically like my high school didn't have football because we were way too small. Um, and that requires a lot of people. So, but like let's see, yeah, volleyball, soccer, football, basketball, baseball, softball, golf. I was on my high school golfing team. But basketball was my main sport. That's the one that I played the most. And aside from like the big deal is like really the involvement and how it was such a community. Like the high school basketball from from my hometown, like high school basketball would like bring everyone in. Um, all of the parents, blah blah blah, everyone would come and watch the games. Like that was like the big event, the big thing to do in town was to go watch the games. I know like in the bigger towns, the American football is a really big thing. Like you guys have seen they make movies, TV series, what was it called? Friday Night Lights. So like high school football in the US is a pretty big deal, but also like basketball is as well. Um, yeah, from like, but like the games and like going, um, being on the guys basketball team and then going to the girls games or like going to the rival towns to support your team. Like all of this was such a big deal. Like this was half of my teenage life. Like I can't imagine anything else. So so this is a big deal. Like yeah, and um going, like, sometimes when we would have to travel, like to get on the bus and go, um, I used to love when we went to like the furthest towns and we would have to like leave school early. That was always fun. I'm trying to remember when. I think we would typically, with basketball, we would play like twice a week, if I remember right. This is like 25 years ago, so I don't really remember. Rarely on the weekends. Like for basketball, I think it was typically something like Tuesdays and Thursdays. Is when we had basketball games. Weekends were typically set for like tournaments, but yeah. So high school sports, school sports are such a big thing in the U.S. What's going on in Germany? Do you have this? Yeah, because I like, what do the kids here do? Like, does everyone just like focus on their education and then leave something like sports and athletics to the outside thing? I don't know how that is. I do know that I hated my high school basketball coach. He was such an asshole. He was also one of my teachers, but yeah. So let me know what you think about school sports. What's the German opinion? Or even wherever you're coming from that you're watching. Because yeah, it's hard for me to imagine like not having this. Like within our school, like we had a big massive basketball, we called it gymnasium. There's a German word that's shared. Like the gymnasium here is your school, but in the US it's like the gymnasium. It's what's the word? Like how do I describe it? The house or the big room where like the basketball court is, which was typically shared with like it would be used kind of converted for the volleyball court. I really loved volleyball. That was probably my second favorite sport to play and be involved with when I was in school. So, um, yeah, like I haven't been able to come up with like a good question because I can't imagine like the first 18 years of my life without having like the school sports there. Like even as a kid, like typically you have older siblings or something that played. Like um my older sister was a cheerleader. I don't think she ever played any of the I don't think she was no. I don't remember her like playing the sports. She was a cheerleader. But yeah. So Germany doesn't have this? Interesting. So please leave some comments. Let me know what you think. Um, Pros or cons. I don't know. I think it would be cooler because as I've said, I can't imagine having these school years without it. So, what are some of your outside thoughts? Hopefully you have a pretty decent idea what I'm talking about. I think it's depicted quite often in American TV and movies and everything. So, I'm sure you guys have an idea what I'm talking about. If not, if you've got a question, ask me a question in the comments and hopefully I will see it. So, but as far as that, what would your mascot be? Like, if you don't have this, like, what do you think would be a cool mascot for your school or your town? What should my mascot? Should I have a mascot? I don't know. It would. I guess I kind of do. I have myself. I am my own mascot, apparently. So, thank you all for watching. Please click the bell for notifications. I've been getting messages like people haven't been seeing my videos lately. I don't know what's going on with YouTube, but remember, the interaction helps that algorithm stuff. And if I'm making videos, even if it's like rambling bullshit, I want you to watch it. But I appreciate you watching it. I do like talking to the camera in some weird way, but I also like the interaction as well. So, thank you all. The Trinkgeld thing is down below. Oh, vielen Dank for those of you that have been supporting me. I think it's, yeah, buy me a beer. That's cool. But I think it still means so much more. Like, yeah, I really appreciate it. So, thank you all for being here and watching. And as always, bis nächste Mal. Cheers.